Today we have an especially fun new mod, the Tankgewehr M1918 anti-tank rifle. If you've ever wanted to take out raiders with the power of the sun, then this rifle is for you. It is a lot of fun to use. It is a massive caliber bolt action rifle. It just demolishes everything. It does absurd damage. It is very fun to use. I've been having fun chasing around some ghouls running around in the area and some raiders and whatnot, and it has been a great time. So if you're into bolt action rifles of any kind, this one may be for you. So first we'll take a look at the unmodified base version of this. As you can see, it's fairly straightforward, a large bolt action rifle. It is a single shot, so you load one round into the chamber, fire, and then you load an entirely new round in. It doesn't have a magazine or anything, which looks really cool in the reload animation, but we'll get to that in a minute. It has a pistol grip instead of being like a normal rifle stock situation. There is a decent amount of customization, nothing insane, which is fine. I mean, it's a simple bolt action rifle, but everything there is to choose from is very good and very fun. So now that we've seen the base one, we'll go ahead and shoot that. Standard drawing animation. As you can see, the iron sights are fairly simple, nothing too crazy, but they line up well and work just fine. So there it was, a massive amount of kick, but that makes it feel great. The noise, the sound from it is fantastic. It sounds like shooting a cannon. The reload animation is crisp and smooth. It's fantastic. It's so good. I really like the way this was done. It is so much fun to shoot. It really feels like shooting a cannon. These dummies don't stand a chance. The reload is just animated perfectly. I can't find one thing wrong or slightly off with the reload, even wearing like the big chunky armor and whatnot. Like, it just looks perfect. And we'll go ahead and look at the one I put together. So here we have the one I built, which is the polymer body instead of a wood stock. It's got a little padding and a cheek rest, a little rail system, a scope, nothing else crazy. I don't have the bipod on it. There is a lot of like flash hiders and some different things like that. I just kind of like the look of the standard barrel, so I didn't use them. We'll, at the end, go through and look at all the attachments quickly. And I've got a, I want to say 6x zoom, yeah, 6x zoom scope on there. And we'll go ahead and try this one out. So again, this is just how I've built it. There's quite a few choices, but I like the look of this one. Again, all the same, but with a lot of zoom. Looks great. The only issue I ran into is that there is quite a bit of kick, so when I was out shooting raiders, I would shoot, and the only thing letting me know I actually hit them was the XP pop when they instantly died, because you can't see the target once you pull the trigger, because you get launched so far up in the air, which is a little annoying, but also kind of fun. Because then you look back trying to see if you managed to hit anything or not. But, oh, it is so much fun. I highly recommend trying this rifle out. And we'll give it one more shot, right in the torso. And the reload, very, very crisp. Alright, so before we wrap up, let's go ahead and look over some of the customization. So we'll go ahead and start with the base one here. So there's one receiver, you've got some different sights, you've got the bulletproof trench shield, which is a little obnoxious just because it takes up a lot of the screen, but I think it is very, very cool. And then you start getting into a few red dots. Nothing too outlandish there. A few more red dot styles to choose from. Then we start getting into the mid-range scopes, all the usual ones you'd expect. Some decent choices there. Then we move into some higher powered zoom ones. A few in there, and then some really nutty high powered zoom, 20, 25 times. And then let's see what this is, thermal vision and night vision. that ought to be pretty interesting to try. And then a 12 times, which looks like is a scope run through the thermal night vision, so that's kind of cool too. So there's quite a few scopes to choose from, whatever your heart wants. And then these will be a little hard to show. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the barrel first. I will shrink it so we can look at all of the different flash hiders. So you have a snub barrel, which wouldn't be as weird looking if I didn't have the bipod floating in front of it. But so if you really want a super close range carbine that can shoot through tanks, then you've got that as an option. You've got a normal shortened, you've got the infantry, and then the factory, which is kind of a normal rifle length, and then you've got a trench one, which is insanely long, which is meant to be fired from a defensive position, probably, you know, combined with the little ballistic shield thing. Alright, so I have gone and got the perks required, and we are now going to use the shortened barrel so that I can show you the different flash hiders more easily. So you've got just a little standard one, you've got a barrel-on-barrel extension, so you can use whatever length you want, a coupler, and a whole nother barrel, sight included. So if you want to get extra silly with it and make a gun that can reach out and touch someone from tens of feet away, this is the attachment for you. Then we've got a welding tool, so you know, that's a massive flash hider, definitely won't obstruct the sights whatsoever at all. Then you've got a HMG muzzle, which I've seen this one before. I'm not quite sure what the point of it is, other than having the spikes for like breaching and whatnot, but this is pretty cool looking. Railroad, I have no idea what this is. Oh, this is like a 50 cal one of those big ones. So you can make it more massive, once again. Doesn't restrict iron sights whatsoever. But that one's pretty cool. You've got a massive oil can if you want to make an oil can suppressor, so you know, that one's fun. You know, I definitely like aiming at the back of an oil can to, you know, try and hit my targets, so that one's a good time. You got a scrap one, which is, I'm guessing, like homemade maybe, is the idea of that one, but that one actually looks pretty cool. Squared off one. Interesting. Then you've got this large, you've got this one. You've got a Barrett knockoff, so that's fun. Ah, yeah, the wide set one. And then an extended compensator. At least you can actually see the iron sight through that one. That's nice. A custom one, which is another suppressor. Quite a few in here. Looks like a little handmade welded one. Yeah, there's a few handmade ones in here. What is that one? That one's cool looking. Very interesting. And then there's a few military grade, like more standard ones through here down at the bottom. Some suppressors. All the usual stuff you'd expect. So we'll move on from there. And then you've got different rounds to choose from, which change some of the damage and all that kind of fun stuff and range. And they do slightly different things. I've just been using the standard round with it, but there is even a shotgun shell, which is kind of cool. We've got stock materials, if it'd let me click in. So you've got wood, polymer, and then a lighter wood, so you have some choices there. You have the rail mount that I was using on the other one, so use or don't use as you see fit. You've got the bipod, which you can have on or off. You've got the different barrels that I showed you earlier. You do have a few different stock options. The padded, skeletal, a like M4 style stock, a SOP mod style, and then this Magpul style one, which wouldn't look as bad on the polymer body. It looks a little weird in the wood stock, but you know, you do whatever you like. We've got some different reticle styles. You can't see a preview or anything, so I have not gone through and tried to mess with changing each one of these just to see what each one is, but I imagine it changes what the reticle is while you're using the scopes. So if you really don't like what it starts at, you could come in here and try different reticle styles. I did not feel the need to. And then you can choose the laser color, and that is about it for the different customizations. So like I said, it's a decent amount, nothing crazy, but The rifle itself is just so amazing that I could really use this thing in just about any of its different states, and it would be a lot of fun. This is probably the heaviest recoil rifle I have used pretty much to date in Fallout. I think there might have been a 50 cal in one weapon mod pack that had similar kick, but this thing is just awesome. I love the way it performs. It just sounds great. I love these single shot reloading. I just really like how this works. I think it's very well done, and I definitely recommend you guys all go and try this out, because this thing has been so much fun. I wouldn't want you to miss out on it. But that pretty much does it for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this rifle, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.